Okay, everybody, here we are on the first 2024 summer program at ResqRanch. Hi, says Caesar. Tali's over there, and Chili's in the back corner. You can just see her little cute booty. We already have guests arriving. Everybody's relaxed, making messes, looking for attention. So tune in, and we're going to have the rest of our open house for you in just a few minutes.
This is the ResqRanch. So we've been looking for a place like this for 11 years, and we finally found it. We've moved from Bailey to Conifer, back to Bailey, and finally we found this place. We've been here for about a year and a half, and just a little bit about the ResqRanch. So we are a nonprofit 501c3, so we want to educate people how to be safe around horses, how to keep horses safe, and how to do it the correct way with building the best bond you possibly can, which is sounds difficult, but it's really, really easy, and I hope all of you guys will volunteer and hope all of you guys will build connections with these awesome horses we have. We've moved the ResqRanch from a bunch of different places, so we've had it since, but Dr. Q has had the idea since 2001, and we haven't really found an actual place to put it until here, so we've been trying to do it at boarding stables and different things like that. Moving 6 horses to different stables is really, really, really difficult, and trying to teach people when you might move out of places where people visit and volunteer, and then you don't have those volunteers anymore, so you have to start all over again. And so it's a real blessing that we have this place, and we're getting lots of donations and things to 8 horses, and it's a lot. So speaking of the horses, we have all of them are rescues now. The 2 that we've had the longest are Rowan and Oliver. So Rowan was born on our property. Somebody gave Dr. Q, they were in dire need of giving their horse to Dr. Q, some kind of situation, and Dr. Q took the horse but didn't know it was pregnant, and so we got to keep the baby, and we've been with her, how many years, 16, 18? 20 years, we've had her for 20 years, she was born with us, and Oliver is her best friend, her boyfriend, her brother, whichever we want to call it, stop at all times, and he was born on the track for racing. He has a really, really good bloodline. His father was second in the Preakness, which is really big race, really big money, and but he was unfortunately born with a crooked foot, and so he was not able to race, and so because of that, they were just going to give him away, and luckily at that time, my mom was working on the track and said, no, I'll take the horse, and so then the next horse we got after that is a donkey, actually. His name is Dominic. Somebody bought him to quote unquote work the land, and so it was kind of a really bad situation. He was in a chicken coop, and so luckily we got him. He is the sweetest animal. Hopefully you guys will all get to meet him, and he's really awesome. We got him on Christmas. And so if you guys have ever heard the song Dominic the Christmas Donkey, that's why we named him Dominic. And then the next horse we have is Sugar. So Sugar is a horse that came from a trail riding company, and she used to give rides to people. Really fast, she told us that she did not want to be ridden anymore. And so we haven't ridden her in a super long time because, you know, she's done that her entire life. She really doesn't want to do that anymore, and we respect that, and we do other things like that. So we walk her, we bathe her, we do different things, whatever we can. And then the next horse we have is another thoroughbred. She raced for 6 years, I believe. Big racer, big winner, loves to go fast, but that does come with a lot of arthritis. And so she was just going to be off to be bred, and then and get a lot of babies, but then possibly be sold to slaughter. And so we really couldn't let that happen. And so we took her, and she's really awesome. She loves to go fast. She's super quirky. She's like the Joker of the stable. She loves everyone, and she loves to cause trouble. But yeah, we have lots of stories if you guys want to hear them. But yeah, so she's a really awesome horse, and we're really excited about her. And finally, the 3 Mustangs. So we have the 2 babies, and we have another Mustang that we've had for about 4 years. And he is we got him at a Micro Mustang makeover. And so basically those makeovers are, you get a baby yearling and you take it home and for 3 months, you have to train it to be halter broken, to be led, and to go through this really intricate obstacle course. And then they get sold at auction. So we got Caesar about 2 weeks later than any other horses. I found a famous person. Oh, you are a famous person. Hey. This is Fudge, and he is a.
How you doing? I made it a little late, but I'm here.
He is an old rodeo clown,
Not
and so.
old.
He's a seasoned.
Yeah, seasoned. I didn't mean to say that. I'm sorry, guys.
The word veteran.
Yeah,
that
my bad. I'm sorry. So we have, and Caesar, we took him into that stadium and he almost killed me. I had to walk him around and he tried to throw me on a fence and it was really bad. But after that, he has been a perfect horse and we can ride him and we take him on trail rides and that horse, we've had him for about 4 years and he's never had a bit in his mouth, he's never been touched with a whip. He's completely positive reinforcement trained and he is awesome. Finally, the two little baby Mustangs. This is kind of what they look like. You'll see them in a minute. So we went to the Colorado Horse Expo. You guys were there, and they brought in 6 wild Mustangs, 6 yearlings, and they had this like exhibition where there was these 6 trainers who were really astounding Mustang trainers who, for the week of Expo, or was it a week? 3 days actually. Sorry, 3 days of Expo. In front of a live audience, they got to train at least a little bit these Mustangs, and at the end, you could adopt these Mustangs. But the Expo happened when we got that really, really horrible snowstorm, and so not a lot of people could go. There wasn't a big turnout, so we went to the auction. And we put a bid in on Chili, and nobody else was interested in her at all. And right next to her was this gorgeous Palomino, and she was flashy and gorgeous and big white socks and just breathtaking horse. And so we were like, and we saw that they were like basically hugging each other through the fence, and we're like, we have to get her.
I knew you were coming home with one, but
I
you
know.
were too surprised.
I know. I was like, but they have friends. It's their friend.
Thank you, Feathery, for filling everybody in and all of that. Does anybody have any questions? Kind of the rescue ranch started probably around 2001 because I had all the neighborhood kids coming over to my house every weekend anyway that wanted to mess around with horses, and so I decided after so many years of that it would probably be good for me to actually make an actual program. So in 2012 I actually started a program called Horses 101, and I gave it for free to the community a couple of times a week for a few years. And so I have lots of little kids even that came when they were like 7, 8 years old that are now in high school and are like, this would be a little bit, you know, and stuff like that. So it's been really cool to see like how the progression has been all this time. The idea of it started because basically we were in a really bad divorce situation, and I was like alone with the kids and eating from the food bank and didn't even have any way to make an income, and it was just a really terrifying time for me as a single mom to survive right after I separated from my ex-husband. And so the idea of the rescue ranch is kind of what kept me going. Like as I was sitting there, like, you know, I didn't even have my house was burglarized and I didn't even have a can opener to open a can of food from the food bank to feed my kids. I was like, okay, if I had all the money in the world, what would I be doing? And so that's kind of where this came from. It was like I would teach other people positive reinforcement because it's not only is it the scientifically proven best way to train any animal to do anything, but it's also the best way to keep everybody safe. You know, whether you're 5 years old or 105 years old, it's really scientifically shown to be the best way to keep everybody safe. And so it's a great way to build bonds, be outdoors, enjoy nature, but do it like in a scientifically really safe manner for people and also for animals. So for a lot of people, they kind of don't understand what it is. They think it's like baby animals and things like that. It's really not at all. It's not grinding. I don't give them rewards for things that before they do the good deed. Right? It's just like you work and you get a paycheck. That's a reward for your hard work. Positive reinforcement is simply the same thing. They do your behavior and you reward them in some way, whether it's food or scratches or whatever. But we just take the time to actually ask them and let them have a choice in participating in all the activities, which is what I think really sets a rescue ranch apart from pretty much any other kind of animal sanctuary. Because there's a lot of animal sanctuaries and horse rescues and things like that, but they all sort of just subscribe to whatever the volunteers that show up have known in the past, or a little kind of quick training session or something like that. But How we're different is because we are all professionally on the same page of the principles of positive reinforcement, as would be the same if you were a professional dolphin trainer, orchid trainer, tiger trainer, elephant trainer. All the professional animal trainers in the world all agree that this is the best way to do it, and they all have the same basic principles. So we're just applying the same thing here, so we wouldn't be embarrassed to have a dolphin trainer come and see what we do with these animals. And so that's what I'm about, is just trying to show people that, so we can get more kids, hopefully, and families and adults that always wanted to be around horses, do it in a safe way, sort of eliminate that whole, middle-aged person who always had horses or what had the dream of horses and then got to be around them, and then all of a sudden out of nowhere, oh, they got hurt and they got scared, and then it like ruined their whole dream. And we can eliminate that with positive reinforcement, like we did previously. So any questions about any of that so far? Otherwise, I think we'll just take everybody for a walk. Thanks for showing up, everybody. Really appreciate your support.